Giant Dipper at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk may be nearly 100 years old, but this classic wood coaster is one of the most underrated rides in the country. This is the signature attraction at this California Seaside park, and it offers a shockingly good experience full of intense laterals and airtime. Find out why this ride beats a lot of modern coasters in this review. Giant Dipper opened back in 1924 as one of the earliest coasters with upstop wheels, meaning it could safely navigate larger and steeper drops. Designed by Frank Pryor and Frederick Church, this coaster cost just $50,000, which is an absolute bargain because even with inflation, that would still be just $776,000 today. Just 1 year later, Pryor and Church built a sister coaster down in San Diego at Belmont Park that would also be named Giant Dipper. While the two rides have similar stats, similar footprints, and identical trains, the experiences are night and day. I have a whole review on the Belmont Park one, and that ride isn't all that great. Santa Cruz's Giant Dipper is fantastic. The ride embodies the Santa Cruz Boardwalk. Because of this ride's significance to both its own park and the coaster industry, it was named a National Historic Landmark in 1987. Giant Dipper stands just 70 feet or 21 meters tall, but has a commanding presence on the boardwalk. It is the park's largest attraction by size and the tallest coaster, so it dominates the sightlines. Plus, you can always hear this ride cycling between the distinct anti-rollbacks and the screaming trainloads of riders. This coaster is a top-notch presentation. It has snow-white supports and red floorboards. It's a unique paint scheme that really pops. And at night, you have chaser lights, which I absolutely love. Then the station and queue line are really cool too. You have a flashy sign spanning the midway. The first part of the queue line is a series of outdoor switchbacks, but the end of the queue passes all these signs giving facts and figures about the coaster. Then you have a really neat station. It's one of the few curved ones out there, and amazingly still has no air gates. Then riders are dispatched to a bell and plunge into a dark tunnel. This gives the station a lot of energy. This coaster used to run 3 trains, but now it has just 2 from Morgan. Each can seat a maximum of 24 riders across 6 cars, each of those cars with 2 rows of 2. I know these aren't the most liked trains in the coaster community, but I've always liked how Morgan trains look with their sleek styling and curved lead car. I also like the restraints, although you probably will have a different opinion if you're on the larger side. Giant Dipper has single position lap bars. They rest much lower than a buzz bar. I didn't see many people turned away, but guests with larger thighs and stomachs may have this restraint digging into them to ride. If you're on the skinnier side like me, you'll have a few inches of room between your lap and restraint, which is perfect for airtime. If you have long legs, you also need to watch out on some of the turns because you could smack them on the sides of the train. In addition, this is one of those rides where everything comes with you, bags included. Just keep that in mind if you have any drinks or fragile items in a bag, because they'll take the brunt of this ride's forces too. When you go to ride Giant Dipper, you can either ride with the unlimited wristband option or pay with tickets. It's 8 points per ride, which costs $8 as of 2022. You can either scan your band or points when you enter the indoor portion of the queue. At the end of the line, an employee lets only the exact amount of people through to fill the next train. If you want a specific row and it's already been taken, the employees have no problem if you wait behind the turnstile for the next train. And I highly recommend the back. The airtime and most lateral moments are far superior there, although the front is of one of the single most intense moments of laterals I've experienced on any coaster. Giant Dipper usually has a large crew. There were usually 10 or so employees on the platform. This meant dispatches were very fast. Each car had its own dedicated employee, so the restraints could be checked in a flash. Other employees direct guests towards the exit because you load and unload on the right side of the platform. It's rare for a ride to do this on the same side. The line absolutely flies when the coaster runs 2 trains, which are almost guaranteed to see on a summer Saturday. It can run 1 train the other days though. This is the most popular ride at the boardwalk, but I've never had to wait more than a half hour for this coaster because of its speedy operations, and this has included visits on holiday weekends. Giant Dipper starts with a bang. You head into a tunnel that's pretty darn dark, and you sharply dip downwards and to the left. If you're in the back, you're whipped down this drop. You get a sudden pop of floater airtime with some shockingly strong laterals afterwards. You only get mild laterals up front, But don't worry, that row's time to shine will come. When you emerge into the daylight, you clickety-clack your way up the lift hill. If you look to your right, you'll get some fantastic views of the beach and ocean, not to mention the entire boardwalk. You then head down the 65-foot or 20-meter tall drop. It feels quite a bit larger. This honestly is one of the weaker drops on the ride, but it still gives an okay pop of airtime in the back, and it gets the train up to its max speed. The park claims this ride can hit 55 miles per hour or 89 kilometers per hour, but I find that quite unlikely given this ride's height. The first pullout is quite bumpy. It is the shakiest part of the ride in my opinion. In general, this ride is decently smooth, especially for its age, but expect some bumps in the valleys. The first turnaround immediately throws riders to the right side of the train. Giant Dipper does not believe in banking. You get sustained laterals in all rows, but they're extra strong in the back because they intensify as you're whipped down the drop. Next is a Camelbak that subtly turns to the right at the top. Up front, you'll get some okay laterals, but no airtime. In the back, you won't get those laterals, but you'll get some nice standing airtime in the descent. This is the type of airtime you can expect in quite a few hills. You then zip over this elongated speed hill. It is probably the ride's weakest element because it offers no airtime nor laterals. It's just bumpy. You then rise into the second turnaround. This one sharply levels off at the top, which gives those up front a great burst of ejector airtime. You then have a short straightaway giving a nice view of the park before navigating a 180-degree downwards drop, and everyone will get plastered to the right side of the train yet again. These laterals are intense, especially in the back car as the train is again yanked through the element. The next hill twists upwards, which abruptly throws you to the left side of the train. The front gets some weak airtime over the top, but the back yet again gets the better airtime. They get some really strong airtime that'll throw them into the lap bar. You then have another speed hill tucked among the supports. You'll get some very weak airtime in the back, but nowhere else on the train. The next hill delivers the goods though. Up front, this Camelbak gives a decent surge of airtime. Those in back get a far stronger and wilder ejector pop. It feels like the train falls out from underneath you. The third turnaround is the only reason I consider riding up front. This is a smaller version of the first turnaround, and it is downright violent in the front row. You are viciously slammed to the right side of the train. You'll get very strong laterals in the back, but they aren't nearly as abrupt and forceful as the front car. The return stretch consists of 2 bunny hills and a speed hill. Both bunny hills give some more standing airtime if you're in the back. Up front, the second bunny hill doesn't do too much, but the first one offers a decent pop of airtime, plus a nice jolt of laterals because this is another hill that banks to the right on the way up. The final speed hill gives a weak bit of airtime if you're on either end of the train. Then you shoot into the final brake run, which gives a satisfying jump of airtime for those up front. This ends the 2,640-foot or 800-meter long coaster. How you feel about this ride's pacing depends on your definition of the term. If you consider pacing raw speed and how well a ride maintains it, Giant Dipper isn't the strongest. The train does slow down a bit atop most hills. However, if you count pacing as how quickly a ride throws an enjoyable element at you, you will enjoy Giant Dipper's pacing like me. All turns deliver great laterals, and almost every hill delivers airtime if you're in the back. So what would I rate Giant Dipper? I'm giving this coaster a 9 out of 10. Just make sure you ride in the back car to get that elite ride experience. The other rows are not bad or painful, they just cannot match the airtime of the back car. There are nearly a half dozen hills that really throw you upwards. Then all the turns have some of the best laterals you can get on any coaster. The coaster I most compare Giant Dipper to is the Coney Island Cyclone. Both are classics that have rich histories and offer strong ride experiences blending airtime and laterals. This is easily the best ride at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, and it's head and shoulders above its namesake in San Diego. So those are my thoughts on Santa Cruz's Giant Dipper. What are your thoughts on this classic wood coaster? Do you think it's one of the country's best wood coasters? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed this review, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.